Good morning, guys. It is 6:15 in the morning, and I'm in a lot of pain. I've a lot of muscular pain, and I don't often get that, but yeah, I've got all this pain in my back and in my triceps, and I just don't want to get out of bed, but good morning, guys. 6:45 in the morning. It was a real struggle to get out of bed, only because I'm in a lot of pain. I'll try my whole back. It's just a lot of pain. And when I wake up, one of the first things I do is I check my YouTube page just to make sure that the videos have uploaded overnight. Check this out. So at 7:30 I will see my competition coach for a training session. Wednesday morning, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I see Penny at 7:30. So I'm actually going to a different gym to see her. I'm going to fitness first. You get to see a different gym. So yeah, let's do this. I'm actually getting more and more excited. There she is. There she is. There she is. How you doing? Good to see you. Good. Oh, hello. What's going on? Good morning, guys. Just finished in the gym training with my coach. I don't have any footage of my training session with her because we spent a lot of time talking, and it wasn't really an intense training session. It was really just kind of talking about how I'm going to approach the next couple of competitions. We just joked around a little bit, talked about New York and how I should go to New York, and because the clubbing is awesome there. And so we talked about that. It was actually really good. And yeah, so the training was more of a mental kind of a, wasn't too intense. It was bis and tris, it was biceps, triceps. And didn't do any abs today because I did abs yesterday, even though I packed my ab wheel, which you can't see, but yeah, I packed it, but I didn't do abs. So she suggested that I don't do the competition on next Saturday. I'm still not certain myself. I am still waiting for the judge's feedback, and when I get the judge's feedback, I can make a proper decision. I'm also seeing Vicki tonight as well. You'll get to see that, and you'll get to meet her. She's one of the competition judges. So we're supposed to get feedback via email, but I haven't got that yet. The other guys have, but I'll be seeing Vicki tonight, and she'll be able to give me face-to-face verbal feedback. So yeah, I'll see Vicki tonight, and you can see that. And today is actually the beginning of a carb loading day, so we're sort of going through that process as well, of cooking up some sweet potato and loading up the sweet potatoes. So as you kind of been aware already, I've actually been on a deplete and load. So there's so many days of depletion and followed by a loading day of carbs. Usually deplete load, you do that kind of 1 or 2 weeks leading up to a competition. So it is raining in Melbourne. As you can see, it's overcast, but it is raining here as usual, coming into winter. And yeah, so I'll pretty much go to a cafe now, have a long black, and just work on some video editing stuff. And then, yeah, that's it. I'll go and see the competition judge tonight. Alright guys, I'm back in my apartment from the cafe, and it was a really good time actually. I spent a couple of hours just going through different YouTube channels and just seeing what other fitness and non-fitness people are doing with their brand positioning on YouTube, and looking at strategies that I can apply to become a more powerful personal brand on YouTube as well. So I'll talk more about that kind of later on, but it was very fascinating because the decision to switch to being more of a personal brand than kind of positioning myself as an entity has been a really interesting internal shift that I feel really good about, because I'm somebody who's very open about a lot of things, and positioning myself as a personal brand and opening the doors to all the things that I love and enjoy the most in life really plays, you know, a good cadence to my personality, and I feel 100% happy with that decision. So I spent time looking through different YouTube channels and looking at like the micro details of how often do they post videos, what do people talk about, and not even caring about subscriber numbers, just caring about more about brand positioning. And I found it really fascinating that, for example, for me, like I've been comp prep documenting for 5 months now. So my first competition was completely documented on YouTube via video, and then this competition process has been documented on video right now. And so little things like the thumbnails, for example, are all, like on my channel, are all black. And I did that because I wanted to create a strong image, brand image, black with me in a posing position. Now I'm kind of relinquishing that idea and maybe pulling down the blinds more with creating more of a personal brand by just changing things like the thumbnails and making them more personable, things like that. So I spent a couple of hours doing that and going through other YouTube videos and, you know, responding to comments on other YouTube videos to, you know, kind of put myself out there into the YouTube ecosystem. That's it. So I'm going to be in my kitchen now. We'll talk more about this in a second. So I'm going to, you know, drop the camera down onto the tripod. So hang with me. All right, I am in my kitchen and I'm getting some chicken together, right? So I'm going to cook 2 kilos of chicken. And so essentially I'm doing comp prep meals for the next 2 days. I've got a small fridge, so I can't cook up, you know, 3 years worth of meals, so to speak, but I'm only doing 2 days. It's really, really simple, you know, just getting the chicken, I've rinsed it, and I'm gonna chop the fat off, so you can see there's little bits of gristle and that kind of, see that? That's gotta go, right? So we just wash it off, trim the fat off, and then I'm just gonna cut it up into slices, really, really simple, and then I'm gonna cook it, and I'm gonna portion it out. So it's like 150, 160 grams of chicken per meal, and I'll have 5 or 6 meals of chicken and spinach. So, and I've talked about this if you followed the video from yesterday. I did exactly the same thing. Now, this is, you're probably thinking, is that all you're eating is like chicken and spinach? Like, that's pretty crazy. Like, what about dairy? What about, you know, other forms? What about carbs? The point is that this is a very, very short-term meal plan. It's not sustainable long-term. It's specifically for getting ready for a fitness model competition. And it's literally something that I'm only doing for the next week and a half. And so, of course, it's ridiculous. You don't just eat spinach and chicken, right? Like every day. Like that's, you just don't do that. but it's very, 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 very short term. Hello my friends, welcome back. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. Quick update for you. I know it's a little weird, I have no t-shirt on. I just had a shower actually, and I just want to quickly talk about what I did. Not in the shower. Okay, so you guys, I completely shaved half my body. I shaved half my body. So I shaved all the hair off my chest and off because I have a posing session tonight with Vicki. So that means that it's best if I shave all the hair off, that way it looks nicer. So I'm just gonna unplug this phone because it's still attached to my laptop. And yeah, so essentially this is what I'll turn that light off so you can see it real quick. Okay, so I'll just stand in the natural light. So this is what my conditioning looks like now. Now, yes, I am flexing just for the record. It's definitely a flex, right? Some losers, people in the balconies are like, who's this fucking loser just flexing his arms, right? So this is for you guys to see my current conditioning. So, right? Now, it's hard to see. I've actually lost most of my tan. So, it's harder to see. Can you imagine if you're competing and you don't have a tan? This is just natural light coming from outside. Imagine being under 3,000 watt light bulbs. You see nothing. So that's why the competitors get tanned up really, really dark so that everything shows up on the stage. All the definition shows, right? So anyway, that's my current conditioning. So all this is shaved off so that it just looks nicer when you're doing the posing class. You don't look like a caveman. So that's what I did. Oh, by the way, I also got feedback from the judges about my performance, my competition, almost 2 weeks ago. And I was probably one of the last people to get my feedback. And today's Wednesday, my next competition's next Saturday. Now, I will flash it up on your screen. I don't even have it in front of me to read, but it says something along the lines of that I need to be leaner all over. And there was a remark about when I do my back pose and my head is turned to one side, that I have a habit of raising my shoulder at the same time. So I know it's hard to visualize this, but I was turning the back pose so the back's toward the judges, my head was turned to one side, and in that motion, in that transition of turning my head to one side, I would raise this shoulder, and they didn't like that, and they said I need to work on some of my transitions. So, and that's all I can remember, but I'll flash it up on your screen. That's exactly what they said in their feedback. Now, I haven't completely interpreted those results. Like I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I've only just got that feedback like an hour ago, and my coach doesn't even know that I've got the feedback yet. So you guys actually find out before she does. I'm seeing Vicki tonight. You'll get to see that. I'm riding a long way out of Melbourne in the dark to see her at another gym called Spartan Gym, and I'll have a posing session. It's $100. No, sorry. Yeah, she's $100 for 1 hour. And we're going to talk more about the feedback I got from her and the other judges. So that's it. And last thing before I mention, I've been also looking at YouTube. I've been shooting videos as well. And I shot a number of short 2.5 minute videos specifically for YouTube as short form content to specifically target people out there which are struggling with being skinny fat and need help to try and turn it around. Hey guys, about to head off. I have a posing class with Vicki. It's 7 o'clock at night. It's about a 40-50 minute ride out to the gym that she trains out of. And I'm going to be with her for probably about an hour. Then I get back 40 minutes after that. So I won't be home until 8, 9, maybe 10, 11 o'clock tonight. So yeah, let's do it. Hey guys, just finished a posing session with Vicki. It is, I think it's 10 o'clock at night, not maybe 9 o'clock at night. And I know you can't see me right now, the light is terrible. But I have a lot of things to work on, and she suggests that I go ahead and compete next week, which I know that's been a bit of contention, so that's a go ahead. I'll be competing next week in Mornington, so yeah, that show's not too far away, but I'm super pumped about that. And yeah, so a lot to work on, and it was, yeah, I don't know, just a lot of little things I need to work on between now and next Saturday, and so you'll see some of the footage that was shot on my GoPro. I recorded the whole session, and lots of little things, you know. Yeah, so it feels like I've gone backwards a little bit because I just seemed to have nailed it the first time back in March, and then I went backwards, and then didn't, according to Vicki, I just didn't bring it for the last show. Looked very straight up and down, didn't really have any taper, and yeah, so just a little bit of disappointment. What could I say? She wants me to be a little bit leaner. It's very hard. It's very challenging. Sometimes it gets a little bit too much. So what can you do? Just do your best. Anyway, it's not raining anymore. When I first rode down here 2 hours ago, 1.5 hours ago, it was raining on my motorbike. So it stopped raining. That's got to be a positive. That's it. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I've made this announcement formally. I did it through Instagram stories just before and Snapchat. So formally I will be going ahead and competing in the fitness model division competition next Saturday. Today is Wednesday, so a week and a half away until I get back up on the stage again. And I'm fucking tired right now. So good night.